What's going on, guys? TKD with your video. Today I want to talk about a bunch of things that I'm talking about right now in the music industry. There's a lot of things happening right now. The list I just made off of some websites I follow is a crazy list right now. So we're just gonna get right into this. Starting off here, we got some news about Justin Bieber and The Weeknd. Now, obviously, as you can tell, ever since the rumors of The Weeknd and Miss Gomez have been going around, with those leaked pictures of them, making out in front of the LA club, there's been a lot of rumors going around that they are actually dating. And obviously, word has gone back to Justin Bieber, and he seems not too happy about this at all. There was a video released earlier this week, and it was displaying Bieber in a parking lot, and Weeknd got brought up in discussion. And Bieber had some really harsh things to say about The Weeknd. He said that he was whack, basically talking about his music, not really much the person. He was basically, mainly honing in on the music, that the music is whack, but to each his own. Any negative connotation about anything is pretty much negative talk to the person in some sort of way. So it looks like Bieber has some harsh things to say and really has some grudges towards The Weeknd. And could this be because of him dating Miss Gomez? We don't know. That could be a thing. Maybe they have some other issues that stem way back than this, but there seems to be some negative issues going on between the two. Now, next up here, we got Kanye West, the man, the myth, and the legend. Now, he was recently denied access to performing at Trump's inauguration for his music not being traditionally American, whatever that can mean. But a lot of people close to Kanye's circle are saying that he is not being a lame duck here. He is creating right now. He's working on a lot of big things, and a lot of big things will come to pass and come to actually happen in real life through Kanye West. What they're saying here is that Kanye West is not dropping one project. He's not just dropping one, he's dropping multiple projects, around the same time, is what they're all saying, is that he has a lot of content made, he has a lot of songs made, and he just wants to put them out. He just wants them out there in the wild, and it doesn't matter if, if they're all on this one big thing. He's not doing that. He is releasing a bunch of small projects. There's a bunch of, I don't know, if we don't really know the size of them. They could be just EPs, or they're going to be, full-length albums. We don't know, but there is that rumored Turbo Graphics album that is of course one of the projects we're all assuming, but he is expected to drop all of them around the same time very soon. And along with that, they also said that he has a lot of things planned for the springtime, and of course in the summertime, revolving around music and also concerts as well. So maybe there could be a possible tour in the works. Maybe for the shows that he missed out on the tour back when he had his issues and right before he got hospitalized, maybe this could be a little bit of a way to make it up, or like alleviate those missed shows in some type of way. But there are rumored music and concerts coming for the spring and summertime for Kanye West. And they also talked about his clothing line, which of course was a big thing to Kanye West, is a big thing to him on a personal standpoint. And apparently there are a lot of other people working with him on the line, and apparently are going to be releasing new things in the clothing line here in the coming years. So very much, Mr. West is definitely not sitting still. He's definitely still working, definitely still doing his thing, definitely still trying to improve, and definitely still trying to, bring new stuff to the world, and he is not stopping. Next up here, we have a story that was released to us like around a few days ago. Actually, no, I believe it was Trump's inauguration day. It was on Twitter, and used to be on OVO. ILOVEMAKONNEN had some interesting tweets to bring to the world. He took time from watching the inauguration to discuss something really important on Twitter, and he basically said that along the terms of, a lot of people talk about other people's closets and what they have in it, and he said, I'm out of my closet, right? And he basically came out as being gay, and this honestly to me wasn't really a big deal, right? And I hope that it's not really a lot of a big deal to any of you people as well watching this, because just in my opinion, honestly, a person is not defined by who they love, right? It's not defined by who they like to have a love interest with. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it be a girl or a guy, or whether you be just the exact same sex or a different sex. To me, that is not the most important thing. About that, to me, like, really doesn't really matter. It's like honestly, whether you're gay or not, it's like the same thing as like whether you like the color blue or red. Like, it doesn't mean anything. That makes sense? You know what I'm saying? So honestly, like with this, I personally, not that I don't care, it's just that I don't care, like, to a degree. Like, it's not the biggest news to me, you know. And so props up to ILOVEMAKONNEN for being out there, you know, having the, you know, will and the strength to go up and talk about who he loves, regardless, you know, of what's been going on in the news, whatever. But yeah, man, so big ups to ILOVEMAKONNEN for being, you know, more comfortable in your skin. Now, 21 Savage. So 21 Savage has been an interesting character here in the industry as of late, especially with him collabing with Drake on Sneakin' and all that stuff like that. And he's got a lot of credibility and a lot of hype, you know what I'm saying? And he, in very, you know, in a very loose ways, is kind of close to Chance, right? Where Chance, he is also independently labeled, you know, he does not have a label, neither does 21 Savage, right? And so they have both, you know, kind of occurred their fame and occurred, you know, their actually, you know, their status, if you will, through word of talk, you know, whether it be the fans or whether it be the tabloids. Like, you know, we know about these two because of their music, period, right? And so 21 Savage, you know, has recently, you know, been transitioning from an independent artist to a labeled artist. He announced that he signed with Epic Records, and he is officially going to be working under their label umbrella. So, you know, it's very good news, I guess, for 21 Savage. If of course the benefits are clear to him, you know, for being on this label, then of course, you know, reps up, obviously, you know, do your thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to make a grind. And obviously here, he also went into in depth discussing how, you know, he wanted to find a label that, you know, that saw his vision, that did not just sign him because of money or whatever, that signed him because they see potential in him. And so he definitely feels that he has seen that here with Epic Records. So hopefully the two make some great music. 21 Savage gets in the studio, makes some dope stuff, because as of late, you know, his stuff has been really good. And you know, I'll be waiting. I can't wait. Next up here, we got Migos off of their big shout out from Gambino on stage with Bad and Bougie. That was an incredible moment, and obviously added a lot of hype surrounding Migos. But, you know, they are not stopping there, and they are setting to release an album here at the end of the week on January 27th called Culture. But they took a little time to drop a song from the album called What a Price. So definitely check that out. It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. So definitely check out this track and check out the album when it drops, dude. Like, support good music, support Migos. And Bad and Bougie is on that album as well. So it finally has home rather than being just a single. That was a big thing. Next up here, we got Big Sean's new album called I Decided. And it is looking and really, you know, kind of cultivating to be a really, really good album, right? It looks like it's going to have an amazing premise that we're going to get into in a little bit. But as of right now, he has stated a few things about the album, and one of those things being that Eminem will be a feature in the album. Now, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, oh, you know, Eminem, whatever, you know, he kind of is at this point kind of a has-been, you know. A lot of people would say that. I wouldn't say that, but, you know, a lot of people would say that. And I feel like Eminem, you know, isn't like the most, you know, hard-hitting feature to have at this point, right? Like, it's a good feature, don't lie. Like, it's a good name to have on your album, but you know, just not really, you know, that like cutthroat hit feature, you know what I'm saying? But you know, with that being said, if Eminem is one of the people that he is just gonna, you know, casually mention is on the album, like, I am really happy to see who is actually on the feature list that we don't know about, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got the likes of Eminem already on the album, who is not listed yet? And that's going to be a very, very good, you know, a very big thing here leading up to I Decided. And he also has said that there is a bunch of music that he has made but will not be making the album, and one of those tracks is called Metro 3, and he says that he will be dropping that you know, either post the album or before the album drops, and he will definitely put it out because he just wants it out. You know, he has a lot of music that did not make the album, and he is going to slowly work to put all of those tracks out in the open. I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel, I believe, or some other talk show, I don't know what it was, but he revealed the premise of the album, and, you know, he really talked about the premise of the album through the artwork, right? So if you look at the artwork, there are two different sides, okay? There's a younger man and an older man on two sides of a house, right? So basically, he explains the premise being that, you know, through life, you make decisions, right? You make choices every day, you make decisions every day, you make hard decisions every day. And, you know, he basically feels that life is about making the right choice no matter what. It's about making the right choice when you're introduced with an issue or a decision, right? And so he says, imagine that you are living through life and you make all the wrong decisions. You make all the wrong choices, you make all the bad things, you make just the wrong choices overall, right? Then you reach the end of your life and you get one chance to relive your life, knowing the bad choices. So you get to relive and go back to the start and, you know the negative choices that you made in the past and not make those again, right? And so that's what, is the whole premise of I Decided. Is a whole album about being a young man and being a, naive soul and all that with the mind of an older and an experienced man. So that's basically what I Decided is about, and it sounds great. It sounds very, very abstract, sounds very deep. It sounds like something that we've never really heard before in a way, but I am just so hyped for Big Sean's album. Like, I love Big Sean, and I literally cannot wait for this album to drop next month. Along with that, we have a lot of new albums coming out as well in 2017 that have just recently been announced. So one of them is Chris Brown's opponent, Soulja Boy, and he is releasing an album called, this is the perfect name for the Soulja Boy album for real. It's called Draco. Now, obviously nobody would be surprised by that title because, Soulja Boy is Draco, you know how that goes. But this is just a funny title for the album personally, especially being Soulja Boy. I think it's hilarious. And he took time on Instagram to reveal the artwork and the date of release for this album. And the artwork is basically just like a black and white photo with him holding a Draco, and it says Draco across of it. It looks a little bit like Trap Soul. It looks a little bit, not Trap Soul. Well, yeah, kind of, I guess, with the text, but whatever. It looks a little bit, like a regular standard artwork, if you will. It doesn't look anything crazy. It looks pretty much like a standard artwork, that you would see, in this day and age. And he announced the date of Draco's release, and that will be February 21st. And February 21st is close to my birthday. Will I be bumping this album at my birthday party? I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely will check out this album when it comes out. Next up here, we have the R&B star Bryson Tiller, and he has said some words about his latest album. Now, of course, he's got a lot of buzz from him being associated with Drake right now, working on More Life and working on the album with Drake, and hopefully he'll have a feature on More Life and all that. But he recently took time to tweet out a really short and concise and to the point tweet about his latest album. In this tweet, he says that the album is called True to Self, and he also said that he will not be stopping until this album is done, and then it is yours. He is gonna go on this somehow elaborate non-stop workflow until True to Self is done, and then he will drop it for all of us to have. So who knows when this is coming out? Who knows how far along he is on the album? If he already has the title working and he's already in the works, I'm assuming it's not that far out. I would probably expect maybe a end of next month or a March release date is what I would say probably. But who knows when this is dropping? And we don't even have an artwork with this one yet. So apparently, we are getting a Bryson Tiller album here pretty soon, but I don't think it's going to be like within the next week or something like that. I feel like we are definitely a couple weeks out on this release. And the last thing on the dock here, I know it's long, guys, just hang with me. And the last thing on the dock here we got is the Boy Meets World tour. Now, Drake, of course, is going on his European tour with Young Thug. You guys all know this. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks now, but there has recently been a delay. Shows in Glasgow, London, and Amsterdam have been delayed from their shows this month in January into March. So they will be, I think they will be on the tail end of the tour now, as opposed to being the first cities up in the tour. And he explained that the reason for this was because of, quote, unforeseen production setbacks. So that could mean anything, but they kind of elaborated in a post. They were explaining that there were a lot of new things they added to the tour that were not in the US tour, so they wanted to make these things happen and wanted to bring it to the people. But of course, these new features and things are going to take time to complete and take time to be able to actually, come bear witness. So these things have recently held back these shows, and will obviously they will resume the shows that they wanted this month to happen, be the intro of the tour. They will of course do that in March. Yeah, there were some unforeseen delays, so that has forced Drake and his management team to push back the tour. And I believe now the tour is going to start in February, I believe is what it's looking like here, because if they basically moved all of their tour shows this month, I assume that it will be starting up in February with those shows that were supposed to be in February. So who knows what we're gonna see? And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bummer, but hey, I mean, it's what it is, man. It's what it is. So you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta put on a great show. And of course, Drake has never let his fans down on a tour at all, except for maybe breaking his foot or some other stuff. But yeah, expect nothing but the best from this tour if you are in Europe. And of course, I assume that your tickets for these first 3 tours will be usable in the shows in March that are in the same city. So, or maybe you have to contact your place that you got the ticket. Who knows? I assume you guys know. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, that was it. And that's all we got. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe, share all down below. I appreciate all of you guys giving me. Thanks for watching. And as always, I got you.